So here are next two questions of General Paper 2 of Indian Economic Surveys 2024, and the question in front of you is that fourth one is, what are the similarities and difference between the Fisherian and Cambridge versions of the quantity theory of money? So to start with the similarities, the first of all, the basic proposition. The first similarity of basic proposition is that both the theory says that there is direct relationship between the quantity of money in circulation and the general price level in an economy. That is, M is directly proportional to P. And both the theories talk about long run, that is the primary focus on the long run effect of change in the money supply on price rather than short term fluctuations. And if we talk about the differences, then the approach to money in case of Fisherian, that is Irving Fisher's approach, emphasizes that quantity theory in a monetary framework where money is seen as a neutral medium of exchange. He focuses on the equation. So what is the equation of the Fisher's equation? Let's write down. MV is equals to PT. That's the Fisher's equation, right? And if we talk about the now here M is the supply, V is the velocity, P is the price, and T is the volume of transaction. In Cambridge approach, Cambridge economists are Marshall, Pigou, Keynes. They consider money as having non-neutral short-run effects on the economy, influencing real as well as nominal variables. So in Fisherian talked about classical dichotomy, neutrality of money, and Keynes emphasized that both real and nominal variables are affected. So here the emphasis was on demand for money as a motive for holding wealth alongside the supply of money. Next, if we talk about the velocity of money, then in the Fisher's model, the velocity of money is mv is equals to pt. It suggests that the change in velocity can affect relation between money and price, whereas in case of the Cambridge equation, it explicitly include velocity in the formulation but focused on the demand for money. That is the liquidity preference. That is what fraction of the money the individual holds out of the total income. So if it holds more money, then the velocity decreases. If it holds less money, then the velocity increases. So that means both the theory, your velocity and your fraction of money holding depends inversely. That is, I can say V is inversely proportional to 1 by K. Okay. Next is monetary policy implications. Of course, in the Fisher's theory, there is clear implication for monetary policy, and in Cambridge theory, it suggested effectiveness of monetary policy may vary depending on factors such as liquidity, individual, and state of economy. All right. Now, moving on to the next question, number 5 here talks about state and explain the components of equity market. How does trading take place in equity market? Okay, so what is basically an equity market? So equity market is referred to as the stock market. It is a complex ecosystem that facilitates the buying and selling of shares representing ownership in companies. To understand how it all works, let's delve into the key components. All right, so what are the components of equity market? Number one, primary market and secondary market. Okay, under markets, so there are two primary categories: primary market and secondary market. Primary market means where the first offer their shares to the public for investment, and secondary market is where existing shares are bought and sold between the investors. Okay, now who are the participants here? So there are variety of participants. For example, the issuers like the companies, right? Investors, those who buy the shares. Then retail investors and institutional investors. Okay, then there are intermediaries, those who facilitate the trading process. So what are the intermediaries? Stock exchange, brokers, market makers, depository, and custodian banks. All right. Next is financial instruments. Let's talk about the financial instruments of the equity market. So the equity market does not just trade stocks, it also encompasses other instruments derived from the stocks. For example, stock options. Okay, options means what? These contracts give the buyer the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a stock at a certain price by a certain date. Whereas there are stock futures, here it obligates the buyer and seller to buy or sell at a predetermined price on a future date. Okay, so at a certain date and future date, and the buyers are obligated in one, another it's not, they are not. Okay, now the trading process, if we talk about, so basically the trading process takes place in the following manner. It's like a story. So first of all, there is investor order. That means an investor decides to whether buy or sell the share and place an order with their broker. Now, this order specifies the stock quantity and desired price or the urgency of the trade. Next, there is order routing. That means the broker routes the order to the exchange or a market maker. Finally, they will match the orders. Then they will execute the trade and finally clear and settlement between the buyer and the seller of the